short version of the insight into the legend that is Rabbie Burns. It was going to be over an hour, but
wasn't it?
Was it?
I thought it was Saturday.
No, not quite. I must thank the lassies, because the main thing is that tonight wouldn't happen without the lassies. They've been involved in the decoration of the room tonight and the preparation of the food, as is tradition. I know we've had, caterers, but the main thing is that the lassies get involved in the preparation of the food tonight and the serving of it. It has been observed, dare I say, probably by a lassie, that a woman can make an average man great and a great man average. Rabbie Burns, Scotland's favourite son, certainly had an eye. He certainly had an eye for the lassies, although this eye was usually in response to the question, "Oi, poor boy, fancy a quickie?" Burns could not have attained the status he has so long enjoyed were it not for the fact that he was surrounded by remarkable women. The women that Burns wrote of were not frail, timid ladies of English nobility. They were neither weaker vessels nor victims. They were the proud descendants of Celtic womanhood. Celtic women enjoyed an unusual degree of freedom by the standards known in ancient and medieval worlds. They were renowned for their individuality and courage, and were particularly praised for their qualities of self-respect and independence. Celtic women could inherit land and title no less than their male siblings. A woman could serve as chief of the clan and enter into battle, just as the men did in time of war. The ferocity of the Celtic warrior woman is subject of legend. The Romans were shocked by the sexual liberties enjoyed by the Celtic women, who extended what Celts like to refer as the friendship of the thighs. Proper Roman matrons, with their false standards of respectability imposed upon them by their menfolk, found lovers amongst those prepared to indulge in secret liaisons. Due perhaps to the sexual liberty of the Celts, succession within their tribes and clans was down the female line. This could of course be the beginning of the saying, "He's a tight Scottish bastard." A Celtic woman could divorce her husband if he failed to support her or treat her with respect, if he was impotent, homosexual, sterile, or gossiped about their sex lives. She could leave him if he was fat, a snorer, or just quite repulsive. I notice that partying in bed is not mentioned.
Just as well.
It was to the inheritors of the spirit of the Celtic womanhood and to the celebration of their many virtues that Burns devoted so much of his energy. An example of this is the farmer's daughter Nellie Kilpatrick, known to us as Handsome Nell. Mary Campbell is immortalised as Highland Mary. As George mentioned, Burns' only bride was Jean Armour, who incidentally bore him 2 sets of twins before their wedding, and is the inspiration for A Wife is a Winsome Wee Thing. The irresistible beauty and sensuality of the women who inhabited the world of Burns is evidenced by the fact that he fathered at least 13 children through liaisons with no fewer than 5 women that we know about. No, he's not here tonight. Clearly Burns enjoyed the friendship of the Thighs and found in it his greatest inspiration. Burns could not have attained the status he has so long enjoyed were it not for the fact that he was surrounded by remarkable women. But then again, aren't we all?
You speak for yourself.
I am.
Okay.
We are now surrounded by ladies of the same strength and character as the Celtic women. They have won the right to vote, almost equal pay, demand equal status, and more often than not wear the trousers, both in reality and metaphorically speaking. Secret ballots, of course, mean that we men no longer have control of who the lassies are voting for. Is chivalry dead? I hope not. I still like to give up my seat for a lady, open the car door and make sure she has a good lawnmower. Referring to my little book on etiquette, which I bought especially for this evening, I should dismount from my horse if I wish to talk to a lady who is on foot and walk with her leading my horse. Some might say that, unlike the lassies, that we gentlemen would have great difficulty riding and talking at the same time. I'm sure that isn't the reason. I would not dare to say, or suggest even, however, another piece of advice from my little book, that in talking to a lady of ordinary education, I should avoid politics, scientific and commercial topics, and choose only subjects as are likely to interest them. I do need to go home tonight in one piece. Despite the fact that the first lassie was only a spare rib from Adam, gentlemen, it must have been a huge bonus for Adam to have a lassie to play with rather than playing with himself. Of course. There are exceptions in this graph. Of course, once he had a lassie around, he would never be able to find anything. He would have to keep the gardens tidy, even if she does have to mow the lawn. Mind his P's and Q's and never have the last word. I started by saying that a woman can make an average man great and a great man average. Alternatively, again, referring to my little book, I could say, it's not the rank of the lady that raises a husband, to that but that's a gentleman that elevates the ladies to his standards. I'm sure the debate will continue. Now, gentlemen, we all know we could not survive without them, and if you could all be upstanding and raise a toast to the lassies.